Hello everyone, best greeting. Today I need to show you about how to read academic paper. Reading the research paper is not like reading a newspaper or not like others paper or book. There's a difference to read a research paper. So through this present I need to show you how to read academic paper. Qasim Hamad Khurshid Hamad Murad with you. I'm PhD researcher from University Technology, Malaysia. The present online, it means through my present I need to explain what is the research paper, what are the research paper type, what is the typical structure of a journal article, and how to read academic. A research paper is an essay in which you explain what you have learned after exploring your topic in depth. In a research paper, you include information from source, such as book, article, interview, internet site, some social media, etc. You also use your own idea, your own knowledge and opinion. This is a research paper briefly. But we must know how many types. The types of research paper we can classify as follows. It means there is an analytical research paper. Analytical research paper. In an analytical research paper, you pose a question and then collect relevant data from other research to analyze their different viewpoints. This is an analytical research paper. But the other type is argumentative or persuasive research paper or argumentative research paper. The argumentative paper presents two sides of a controversial issue in one paper. Two sides of a controversial issue in one paper. It's aimed at getting the reader on the side of your point of view. You should include an side finding an argument of different researcher. Definition paper thoroughly describes fact or objective arguments without using any personal emotion or opinion of the other. It means in definition paper there is not opinion or there is not any emotion of other. Compare and contrast paper. Compare and contrast paper are used to analyze the difference between two viewpoints. Other subject or stories. Make sure to succinctly describe both sides in the paper and then move on to comparing and contrasting both thesis and supporting one. It means in this type of paper, describe both sides in the paper and then move on to comparing and contrasting both thesis and supporting one. So the other type of research paper we have cause and effect paper. Cause and effect paper are usually the first type of research papers that high school and college students are confronted with. They trace probable or expected results from a specific action and answer the main questions, why and what, which reflect effects and causes. In a business and education field, cause and effect paper will help trace a range of results that could arise from a particular actions or situation. So interpretative paper, an interpretative paper require you to use a knowledge that you have gained from a particular case study. For example, a legal situation in a law study, you need to write the paper based on the established theoretical framework and use a valid supporting data to back up your statement and conclusion. These are the type of research paper, and we have the experimental research paper. This type of research paper basically describes a particular experiment in detail. It is common in field like biology or chemistry or physics. Experiments are aimed to explain a certain outcome or phenomenon with a certain actions. So you need to describe your experiment with the supporting data and then analyze it substantially. Last type is survey research paper. This is a research paper demand the conduction of survey that include asking questions to responding. The conductor of the survey then collected all the information from the survey and analyze it to present it in the research paper. So it means that we have the main type of the research paper. The main type of research paper, as explained, is there is an analytical research paper, argumentative research paper, definition paper, compare and contrast paper, and we have the cause and effect paper, and we have interpretative paper, we have experimental research paper, and survey research paper. All of them, we can say there is a type of research. So what is the structure of the journal article? The structure of the journal article, really, generally, we have a title, keyword, abstract, introduction, literature review, method, result, discussion, conclusion, references. So if you see, there is every structure of the paper, we have the title. We know every paper has a title, we have a keyword, we have abstract. Through the abstract, we can summarize a summary of the aim, method, and result. So we see in the abstract, you can find what? You can find the summary of aim, method, and result. Okay? Introductions. From the introduction, we can find general intro topic. General intro to topic. Okay. From literature review, the summary of previous relevant research and identifications of research gap. Method. Description of how the research was conducted. It means there's a participant, procedures, and data analysis inside the method. So the result, there is a summary of a significant finding, often includes table, figure, statistics, etc. It means inside the result, the summary of significant finding. And many times there is a table, there is a figure, there is a diagram, etc. inside the result section. Discussion, interpretation of a main finding in relation to the data and the literature. Okay? There's a discussion, interpretation of main finding and in relation to data and the literature. Okay? Thus a conclusion is a summary of a main finding, implications, and limitations. So after that there is a reference. There is a main factions or main structures of each part of the research paper, and we can say we can find from each sections of the research paper. So what is the typical research paper? We see that we have an example. We see there is a paper like this one. If we see there is a title, yeah, and there is the author with the title, under the title. There's a title and there is the authors, they write this paper. We have abstract, this is abstract, and we have introduction, and we have a keyword. The keyword, that's introduction. Okay? We say we have a review or literature review sometimes, so we have a review. Okay? And we have the result, really, the number 4. After review, we have the research and method. So it means there is a number 2, and there is a number 3, there is a research and method. The number 4 is what? The result. So the last name is last number. Sorry, the last number or the last sections of paper is conclusion. This is the typical structure journal article example. What are some strategies for reading a journal article? It is very important while you read the paper article, you must find where you need to read, why you read this. It means, if you want to know general picture about the paper, you must go abstract and subheading. If you need to find the general picture about the paper or about the research paper, you directly go read abstract and subheading. If you need to find some background on the topic, you must go to the introduction. Okay, we go to the introduction to answer that. If you need to find some background on the topic, okay. If you want to know the relation now or previous related research, so directly go to where? Go to review or literature review. Inside the research paper, there's a review. So you read the review. So from the review, you can find the relational or previous related research. So if you want to know how was the research conducted, directly go to the method and methodology. From the method and methodology, we can find research conduct. What is the research conduct? The main finding, go to the result. The main finding for each paper, go to read the result of the paper. Okay? The significance of the main finding, you can go discussion. If you need to find the significance of the main finding, so directly go to read the discussion inside the research paper. The future research possibilities, go to read the conclusion. The last one, what research was cited, really go to the reference. From the reference, we can find the researcher, what cited. This is a main technique or strategy to read the paper. It means, if you need anything, you must go to the specific part of the paper. If you need main finding, go to the result. If you need to general picture, go to the abstract. If you read conclusion, you find the research possibilities. If you read the introduction, what we find? We find the background on the topic. We find what? We find the background on the topic. So, and so on. So really there is a technique to read any paper. While we just glance over the structure, we should read some part. So we divided for 3 phases to read the paper. The first phase, we say survey the article. So the first phase, we say what? We say survey the article. Survey the article. Here you get the bird's eye. We quickly try to read the paper. The big picture of the paper. You can find the big picture of the paper while you read quickly. Bird's eye. This step usually takes 5 minutes. It means through the 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you can skim through the structure of the paper and ignore any detail like mathematical equation, like the graph, etc. But you should read the title. You should read the title, abstract, and conclusion. So it means very important. From this step, you read the title and the abstract and conclusion. This step serves as a first check of the paper. First check of the paper is worth reading in general. By following this approach, you can already discard paper which are not helpful. Example in the literature. So we must read the title, abstract, conclusion by 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. But we say this type of reading, we say bird's eye view or the big picture. Find the big picture of the research paper. Okay, from the first phase, from the bird eyes reading, we can find category of the paper. Okay, we can find the category of the paper, we can find the context of the paper, we can find the correctness of the paper, we can find the contribution of the paper and clarity. It's a very easy. The first step you can find is about the paper. The second phase is a reading article. The written article, after the first phase, you have the second phase. The written article is the first one. You try to look at what. The second, you have to look at the table and figure, including the caption of the table and the figure. This is really what was done in the work. This does not take much time. So it is worth looking at before really getting into the detail and to the reading. So look to the, after the first step, you read the title, abstract, introductions. So the second step, you try to find the picture or diagram with the caption of the picture. So after that, we go to where? We go to the read introduction. So the read, the introduction, this is a background needs and why the study was done. So it's very important from the second step, after you read the caption of the figure and you see the figure, directly go to the read the introductions, and from this background needed and why the study was done. So read the result and discussion. This is the heart of the paper. Read the result and discussion. So we try to read the detail and read the result and discussion. So it means this is the heart of the paper. Okay. So if there is an experimental, so you try to read the experimental. This is how they did the work. You only get to this point you are really interested and need to understand exactly what was done to better understanding the meaning of the data and its interpretations. So this is when you identify the common citation and the repeated authors. Okay, so you can visit their website and you can spot any recent work. Also download the common cite paper and apply three-pass approach for single papers. Again, so it means from the second phase, we look at the table and the figure, include the captions, we read the introductions, read the result and discussions. By this way, we can find either as a paper, either as a website, authors citations. So we try to connect, to download some time of the paper, and it is main as to ready to go to the phase number 3. So the third phase, reading the article, you have to be very certain that this paper is worth your time before continuing with the step, because it can take up 1 hour. Okay, as a beginner, now is the time to read the complete paper with all its math equations and detail. Try to virtually re-implement the paper or use any tools you like to recreate the result. If you are a reviewer, then you probably have to take this step to give detailed feedback. Okay, so here you can try to visit the website of the topic conference or journal and look through the recent proceeding. Try to identify related high quality work and apply the 3-pass approach for simple paper again. So now what? Now write some notes so you don't have to reread the wallpaper. Okay, after the third phase, you write some notes so you don't have to read the wallpaper again. So there is very important technique to read the paper. So the third phase, it means 1 hour. So by this way, if we use this step, it means through 1 hour and 10 minutes or 20 minutes, we can, from 1 hour and 20 minutes, maybe 2 hours completely, we can read one paper. So this technique, especially you read the title, you read the abstract, you read the conclusion. After that, you go to read the introduction. And after that, the last phase, you must try to go to read the result and type the note. And to note, you do not need to reread the paper completely. Only by this way, you can understand it for the paper, and you can find the citation, we can find the other source the researcher take from it. This is from, it means during 2 hours completely you can read the research paper. Thank you. With best regard, I hope this is interesting for you.